Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Broly unboxing. I have been sitting on this guy for so long, and I have been waiting so long to open him up. I don't usually buy SH Figuarts because they can be pretty pricey. But as soon as I saw this Broly, as soon as I saw him, I knew I had to get him. I love the form of Fury Broly. They have a base form Broly head in here. He's wearing the armor. It's so good. How y'all doing today? We're going to get into Broly. Today we're going to be unboxing this guy. I have actually been sitting on him for a very long time now. He has been sitting in the room. I just haven't had time to do a lot of unboxings until today, and finally we are going to be cracking into this Broly. Again, I do not buy SH Figuarts figures very often just because even though they are fantastic articulated figures, I don't always think for as high as the price that they are completely worth it. But this Broly was 100% worth it in my opinion. He comes with a couple of heads, a couple of accessories. He is huge. So very awesome. Let's get into him. Of course, as per usual, I will leave some links in the description. I'm like stuttering because I'm so excited. I will leave some links in the description to where you can pick this guy up. Funny enough, I originally got him, I think, from eNight Media, but then I saw Amazon had him for a little bit cheaper, so I picked him up there, and I do have Amazon Prime, so I was able to get him like that. I think, if memory serves, he was like $80-ish, something like that, maybe like 75. If I am incorrect on that, I'll put the price on the screen, but it was around there. And I definitely think, even though that seems like a lot of money, that is a pretty good price for him. By the way, I know I did show you the box, but I love when SH Figuarts does this, which is like all their boxes, where they put a bunch of different poses and stuff, and then obviously on the back, oh, manual, thank you. Obviously on the back we have a couple of different poses and stuff, and then showing them off with the Dragon Ball Super Broly Goku SH Figuarts figure. I'm taking it slow because man oh man am I excited for this. So let's take a look at the instruction manual real quick. Tells you everything that Broly comes with. You can see he comes with 3 heads that are interchangeable, and the color comes with a bunch of hands. Talks about the shoulder pieces and the cape, which we will all get into in a little bit. And this is just nothing on the back. Alright, Broly is in a clamshell. As you can see, nothing is falling out here. He is a very big figure, which is another reason why I thought he was 100% worth it. Let's take him out of the box. Oh, this right here, my dudes, is a premium figure. Look at this absolute monster. Oh my gosh, I am so happy to finally get him out of the box. Wow, okay. Let's take the plastic seal of officialness out of Broly. Oh, can we get it out? Bruh. It's very stuck. Broly, can you get some wingspan for me? Nice. All right, we'll take a look at the articulation and the paint job and all of that in a little bit here. How do you... Oh, it was a lot easier than I thought it was. I obviously don't want to get the plastic like stuck in Broly and then I can never get it out of Broly. So here he is. Obviously this Broly is the version of Broly where he has the armor. SH Figuarts did release a version of Broly where he was shirtless and was the full power Broly a little bit before this guy. And I like Broly, like I like the character Broly, but that form isn't necessarily my favorite form of Broly. And as soon as I saw that they were making this, I was like, heck yes. So, paint application is absolutely fantastic. There are not many places here where I see any mishaps. There looks to be nothing wrong that I can see. The nice, like, soft plastic on Ba's ear is also very nice. Obviously, he has very good paint on the front as well. Let's go over articulation before we look at the other pieces. So his head can move pretty far. Obviously he is a little bit restricted by all of this hair going on back here, right? And obviously the front pieces. His arms can move pretty high up. Obviously these shoulder pieces move away, so if you would like to kind of get some more range of motion there, you can on Broly, which is very, very cool. Obviously his hands move all the way around, his arms move all the way around, as a SH Figuarts figure should. His shoulder muscles move, his arms move. He is pretty tight. Okay, he's not as tight as like a bootleg SH Figuarts figure, most certainly, but his joints do feel good. I do like how the armor here too, I think you can see that, right? The dark armor is kind of moving with the arm. That is because of this piece on the back here. That is really, really cool because it obviously allows for more articulation while it's still looking, you know, not like his arm is disconnected. He doesn't get too much range of motion going down, right? The sort of unfortunate thing about how they made this too, they made this green piece separate, right? And I know that this can actually scratch the plastic under that, so do be careful if you are maneuvering Broly like that. This also can move, which I think is a little bit strange that they designed it this way. And this doesn't move at all. This is like just, I mean, you can kind of move it like that, but this piece is the only one that moves back. I don't know why they decided to design Ba's ear like this on like every Broly. Like on the Figuarts Broly, they decide to do it like these two pieces go out and then the back one goes straight back. I don't know. Anyway, though, let's take a look at leg articulation. He gets some very good joint movement, it looks like, especially for how big his legs are. His whole foot can move around? No, it doesn't look like it. It's very weird. Oh yeah, I remember someone talking about this, where it's weird because it can move like this, but then his foot can get some great articulation this way. It feels like they should have kind of switched the joints a little bit. And also his toe does okay. His toe does articulate. Why you would need that? Look at those goofy looking boots. Why you would need that? I don't know. But either way though, that is, I think, everything. He gets some good side-to-side motion as well. Can he squat? I know that is a test that a lot of people that open SH Figuarts like to do. He can sort of squat? Not really. You can kind of lean on his cape. Look at him. Oh, this is like when he gets shot back and then he slides, right? And then he looks up at Goku and he's like, oh! So overall, though, fantastic articulation on this Broly. Obviously, it is a little bit difficult to do articulation on figures that are this hefty. And, of course, Broly being in armor, it's a little bit more difficult to get some good articulation on a figure like that. But I think that they did a really, really good job on that. I love that the shoulder pieces, too, that you can just move back. Because, again, that just allows for more arm articulation. And you can take those off, too. I'm not going to right now, but you can take those off. Let's take a look at some other accessories that Broly comes with. His hands are huge. So he comes with, these are obviously the same side. Look at the detail on the hands. Like the way that the plastic is molded, it almost looks like veins, right? And like fingerprint and how a hand looks. Very, very nice. So I guess this is just open palm and a little bit less open palm. Weird. I suppose that one could maybe be, so let's see. So these two are like the open palm hands, right? I suppose that this would be like shooting ki blasts, right? And then maybe this would be like for grabbing Goku's in the face. That seems about right. And then obviously he comes with the fist hands on his own body. Of course, Broly's hands are huge because he already himself is a giant. So let's just go ahead and, for the sake of it, change out his hand here. Pops right off. Very nice ball joint. Stick that boy right on there and bada bing, bada boom. You got Broly shooting a ki blast. Very, very cool. Alright, so that fits very, very nicely on Broly. Let's go ahead and take the head off. Just the little ball joint right there. I know that looks kind of terrifying. With this, too, it doesn't come with any other faces. Does this actually come off? No, it doesn't look like it does. Okay, so I guess it's all one piece. Interesting. Usually with SH Figuarts, you can take off the front hair piece and then change the face, but I suppose since it does not come with that, it makes sense. Here is base form Broly, by the way, which is very, very nice that they included this as well. Obviously, his hair is down, so it's a lot longer. He has the very, like, bleh kind of look. We can put that head on him, too. I do like that head. I do think that the face is a little bit... Wow, that the hair difference is incredible. I do think that the face is a little bit just kind of like, okay, honestly. It could be a little bit better in my opinion, but it's definitely not bad. So we have that head for Broly. And then finally, which is really, really cool that they even bothered including this too, we do have a Super Saiyan head for Broly, where he has the clenched teeth. Very, very nice. I love the coloring. There is a little bit of orange. I don't think the camera will pick it up, but there's a little bit of orange like in the roots of his hair that go out to the yellow color. I really, really like that. I love when they do that with hair. Let's go ahead and take his head off and put the Super Saiyan head on Broly. That looks really, really good too. That definitely looks a lot more appropriate for the Ki Blast pose that we have him in at the moment. That is really, really cool. So that's all the accessories that Broly comes with. Obviously, his tallest form is the Super Saiyan one because I think the hair is a little bit longer. Though the only unfortunate thing about this Broly that I will say is probably my one gripe. It's not even that big of a deal. Is that if you take close note at both of the heads here, really, you're not going to focus on that. It's right here, bro. There we go. You can see that. Thank you. You can see that... Yeah, I'm just going to do it far away. It's fine. You can see that both of the head sculpts are the same. And by that I mean they just repainted the black hair yellow. Which is kind of unfortunate because the Super Saiyan hair is a tiny bit different. Of course, it's not like the biggest deal in the world. But it still is something to take note of when you're buying the figure. Alright, so that's basically Broly. Very, very worth it, in my opinion. Of course, he looks like more accurate than any Broly figure could be to the movie. He looks absolutely fantastic. The heads are great. I love that they include all three because they could have just made, like, you know, Super Saiyan Broly and then this one and then maybe a base form one. Though I will admit, the one thing, funny enough, that I kind of would like more with this figure, that they have the base form Broly head, is when they first find him on Vampa, right, and he's shirtless, and he's got that little bit of more of a rough look. Not like shirtless when he's like buff, like full power Broly, because this head doesn't really fit with the full power Broly body for SH Figuarts, because the body is bigger than this Broly body, which is good that they did keep that accurate, because he does get bigger as he goes to full power, and this Broly is a little bit smaller than the SH Figuarts full power Broly. But this head doesn't really work on there then because the scaling, and I think these heads... I don't think these heads actually work on the full power Broly either, if I'm remembering that correctly from reviews I've watched. But either way, the sizing, right, doesn't really fit. Alright, so let's compare Broly. Let's see if we can get him as straight as we can to some other SH Figuarts figures. I don't have too many, but I do have a few that we can compare him to. Let's just see. Let's just give him the other hand here. I do like too that it is very nice to just kind of pop stuff off and then put it right back on. It's very nice that it doesn't feel like too like you're trying to hurt the figure, and it pops on nice. And also how big the ball joint is, right? It looks like it's still just his wrist and not something that necessarily, could come off. That looks like he's doing a forced choke. We could, yeah, sure, we'll keep it like that. Alright, cool. So that's about Broly standing as tall as he can. Let's put him next to, I know some of you watching this channel might know, but some of you might not know, this is Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. This is a SH Figuarts figure as well. This is about, I think, as tall as I can get him too. Obviously Broly towers over my man. Of course too, we could not compare Broly without the Raised on Earth Goku. He is also way taller than Goku, of course. Makes sense though, this is correct scale, so that is really cool. And these guys do look great next to each other, despite this Goku not being the SH Figuarts Broly movie Goku, this being more of a Z-based Goku, but they still look really, really good together. Besides that though, moving Emma out of the way here, that's his name by the way, the guy under the costume, we do have the Figuarts MUI Goku. He is a little bit wobbly, but he is much taller than the SH Figuarts Goku, as you can see here. And he does come up to about, like, maybe the top of that bang on Broly-ish, a little bit shorter than that. Definitely a little bit past his armor. Figuarts as a line is a little bit bigger than the SH Figuarts line. I think you can kind of see that here because this mold is literally just taken from another shirtless Goku and then the normal Goku with the pants and combining it into the MUI Goku. So this is about the standard size, of a normal Goku figure. So it makes sense here, right? You can see the size with them. So he doesn't scale as well to this Broly. Funny enough, though, I believe the full power Broly, being so much bigger than this Broly, does scale okay to this guy here. But obviously with other SH Figuarts figures, this Broly does scale pretty well because, well, he's supposed to scale with them. Let's see real quick if we can get something like this, right? Maybe a handshake from Goku, right? Looking up at Broly. That'd be pretty cool. Let's just see if we can set this up real quick. So obviously with how articulated SH Figuarts figures are in general, and with how articulated this Broly is specifically, you can get all kinds of great poses out of him. Unfortunately, me being not the biggest collector of SH Figuarts, but I still obviously like the figures. I'm not that good at posing the figures. My Goku is literally hidden in the kitchen, and he is giving everybody kind of like a wave as they come into the kitchen, which is still pretty fun. But alright, so let's see if we can get, well, I guess that kind of doesn't make sense because it's not the right hand. Here, let's see if we can get Broly looking down. By the way, this head, I did forget to mention, does offer a lot more neck movement, right? Because obviously the hair in the back restricts a little bit, but because there's nothing in the front, you can get some pretty good looking down, which is cool. Look at that hand, by the way. The size of... here, let's move the heads out of the way. Look at the size of Broly's hand compared to Goku's hand. That is crazy. Let me put these guys in the middle here. Very, very nice. Looks good. Goku making a peace offering to Broly at the end of the movie. Very, very cool. Alright. So that is going to about do it here for me. We'll kind of pose them up a little bit as I'm just finishing up the video. Obviously, SH Figuarts figures are a little bit more expensive than the normal figures that I unbox on my channel. Most of the figures that I unbox are like 20 bucks. Obviously, the bigger ones can cost a little bit more money. But if you like Broly and you want a really good posable figure, I would honestly say that this is a 100% fantastic option for you. Even if you're just a fan of the Broly movie and you don't have any SH Figuarts figures besides if you were going to buy this one, I would still say that he is 100% in worth the investment. Yes, worth the investment. Simply because not only is he a fantastic figure, right, that can look great standing alone by himself on your shelf, he also, too, will hold his value. SH Figuarts figures hold their value a lot better than some of the Bam Presto and Bandai figures do, kind of depending on just what figure it is. And you could always resell them if you really didn't want to keep them, or you thought he cost too much money or something like that. Obviously, Broly kind of falls over a little bit when you put the cape out like that. But yeah. Overall, absolutely fantastic figure. I'm so glad that I got to review this guy for you guys because I've been looking forward to him for a very, very long time. A great addition to the SH Figuarts line. I think they did a great job with sizing him. Two more things before we go to. He can do the splits because of the joints that he has down here, which is really, really cool, which allows for even more great leg articulation. You can get him to kick up really, really far. Obviously, the cloak is sort of in the way, but that does allow for some great leg movement. And I do recommend playing with the figure a little bit when you first get it, obviously to kind of loosen up the joints a little bit, because, you know, when it comes from the factory, they are kind of, you know, making sure that the joints are tight for whoever gets it. I did want to compare my final comparison before we go here to a Bandai figure, just for a little bit more size comparison, because obviously here we are only comparing to some SH Figuarts. This is the Super Saiyan. I believe this is the S Culture's Ichiban Kuji Broly. Obviously, that Broly is a lot bigger than the SH Figuarts Broly. Look at them. Look at those boys looking at each other. Funny enough, Broly is actually a little bit taller than this one. But obviously he is going straight. This Broly is definitely a little bit longer when it comes to that way, and obviously a little bit girthier because he is a statue and not a posable figure. But either way, I kind of wanted to give you a good comparison there. It is interesting to see too how they do the greens, right? Like this is a little bit more of a darker green. This is lime. This one is definitely a little bit more darker of a green on the shoulder pads rather than Broly's a little bit lighter. The hair is a little bit more matte. This is a little bit darker, and obviously the purple is a little bit more like brighter purple than the little bit of a darker purple here. As well, too, right now I will show you a picture of Broly next to the Ultimate Soldiers Broly and Goku that is in the background of the video, just for some more comparison's sake. Oh, actually, we did forget one more thing. I am all over the place here. I'm so excited about this Broly. I kind of figured that this was going to be like a half-an-hour video, but just bear with me because I'm having an absolutely fantastic time playing with this guy. And I know. I've been saying that it was going to end, but I keep finding more. I forgot. They added in the choker. Obviously, this is what Paragus uses in the beginning to keep Broly under control. So you can just kind of slip that around the neck, which is very, very nice. And then I suppose we could put this Broly head on here. And voila, you have the choker piece for Broly. Obviously, it's a bit hard to see with the lighting here, but it does fit nicely around his neck. You kind of got to play with it a little bit to get it how you want it, because it is a little bit like loose around the neck, right? It just kind of like slides around. It isn't really the, you know, like it isn't not stable, because obviously when the head is on there, it's going to stay on there, but it can move around, and obviously that just adds for more articulation. This does make sense though, because obviously Broly still has this when he's getting memed on. It does kind of bump into the chin, and that is sort of the fault. I know you can't really see it in the back here, but that is sort of the fault of the hair, because the hair is lifting it up and keeping it in place. If we take this off, right, it can sort of go a little bit more down. Again, do be careful with Broly's hair, because obviously it can cause scratching on the back. I do believe this is just some paint chips in mine, and as well too, here you can kind of see I don't know if the camera will pick that up very well, but there's a little bit of a black mark there, and I think that's just from moving the hair around, but the hair will probably cover it anyway. Either way though, guys, that is going to do it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely go pick up yourself a Broly if you have the money. He is a fantastic figure, and I highly recommend him. Even if you don't collect SH Figuarts figures, I definitely think he is something worth adding into your collection. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want me to do some more SH Figuarts figures, because I do have my eye on a couple of them. Mainly the Merged Zamasu figure I would love to pick up, because he comes with the goopy arm and the goopy face, and he comes with a big halo behind him too, which I think is really, really cool. I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Epigutu out. Peace.